Antibiotics. The more we use them, the faster we lose them, the more bacteria get resistant to them. So I'd love 12 months later to be back here before you talking about how big industrial scale meat producers have stopped adding penicillins and tetracyclines and other drugs routinely into the feed for animals that aren't even sick, for animals that don't need them. But I can't say that. In fact, the latest sales data from the pharmaceutical industry collected by the FDA says just the opposite. We're using more antibiotics than ever before in food animals, nearly 30 million pounds a year. And this compares with just less than 8 million pounds for humans, so about 4 times more for animals. And 90% of these animal drugs are added to animal feed, to flocks or herds of animals. I wish I could tell you that we don't live in a world where if you go buy a chicken breast, 99 times out of 100, you're going to be getting a piece of meat that has drug-resistant bacteria on it. But short of the drug companies themselves, everyone is shocked by this state of affairs. And least of all because we now know that it has led directly to the development of these superbugs that are resistant to treatment with antibiotics and that come to infect people. So your public health guardian, the Food and Drug Administration, has responded how? Well, last year, since I was here, they announced a voluntary program. They're basically going to go to these same pharmaceutical companies and ask them very nicely, please don't make as much money by selling your products to meat producers. Okay, let's just say I'm more than a little skeptical of this approach. Last year, on the other hand, the Natural Resources Defense Council, or NRDC, won 2 resounding victories in court. These court decisions would force the FDA to do what they started doing 35 years ago, a third of a century ago, and that was to take penicillins and tetracyclines out of animal feed, to not allow it anymore. So the FDA is fighting that decision. They've appealed.